Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask question 172/2015 under my name to the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister for Youth Affairs and Sugar Industry. But before that, let me, Madam Speaker, welcome the Prime Minister back to Fiji. Will the Prime Minister inform the House of the following in the absence of Fiji Sugar Corporation providing weekly crush reports for each of its 4 meals? A. The total cane crushed and sugar produced by each of the 4 meals since the beginning of the 2015 harvesting and crushing season, and TCTS tons of cane to a ton of sugar recorded by each meal. B. The weekly throughput average of each of the 4 meals and the weekly crushing capacity of each of the 4 meals for the 2015 season. C. The hours of meal stoppages caused by breakdowns or mechanical problems at each of the 4 meals for the 2015 season. D. The hours of stoppage caused by outside stoppage or lack of cane supply due to bad weather or other conditions for the 2015 season. And E. The losses incurred by breakdowns at each meal. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I now give the floor to the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister for Youth Affairs and Sugar Industry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank Honourable Biman Prasad for that welcome, but I don't know if he's serious about it. Madam Speaker, this has a lot of stats, and it would have been nice if we had given him a written answer to this, but I understand he insists on it being put forward as an oral question. Again, his question demonstrates his propensity to be more of a showman and have some kind of relevance when it really doesn't happen. Madam Speaker, FSC has been providing weekly stats to various agencies, including the Reserve Bank of Fiji, the Ministry of Sugar, and in the past few weeks to the media also. Perhaps the Honourable Leader of the NFP has been too consumed in protecting his position as the Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee that he has failed to even contact my ministry or other agencies to get the figures. Maybe, Madam Speaker, he needs a diversion. Nonetheless, Madam Speaker, these are the figures. In relation to question A, the total cane crushed and sugar produced by each of the 4 meals since the beginning of 2015 season, and the TCT, the tons of cane to tons of sugar recorded by each meal, is as follows. As of 8 a.m. on 21st August. Lotoka meal, cane crushed is 182,851 tons. Sugar produced 21,873 tons, and the TCT is 8.4. Rarawai mill, cane crushed 215,276 tons. Sugar produced 25,132 tons, and TCT is 8.6. Lambasa mill, cane crushed 321,023 tons. Sugar produced 38,310 tons, and TCT is 8.4. Penang mill, cane crushed 77,736 tons. Sugar produced 8,120 tons, and TCT is 9.6. The total for all 4 mills in the country since the beginning of the 2015 season is cane crushed 796,886 tons. Sugar produced 93,435 tons. The average TCT is 8.5. For the information of the Honourable Member, the performance is on par with the 2014 season when sugar extraction was at record level. Madam Speaker, in answer to Section B of the Honourable Member's question, at the end of 17th August, the weekly output average of each of the 4 mills and the weekly crushing capacity of each of the 4 mills for the 2015 season is as follows. Lutoka mill, weekly throughout 25,664 tons. Tons per hour, crushing capacity of 270 tons. Crushing rate, 241 tons per hour. Rarawai mill, weekly 25,000 tons, 25,029 tons. Crushing capacity per hour, 240 tons. Crushing rate, 213 tons per hour. In Nambasa mill, weekly 34,877 tons. Crushing capacity per hour, 280 tons. Crushing rate, 262 tons per hour. Penang mill, weekly to output 10,246 tons. Crushing capacity of 105 tons per hour. Crushing rate of 101 tons per hour. The performance for all 4 mills for the same period is as follows. Weekly 95,816 tons. Crushing capacity 895 tons per hour. Actual crushing rate is 817 tons per hour. Madam Speaker, a number of factors can affect the crushing rate. These include cane supply, the stopping and starting of the mills for various reasons, and problems with aging machinery. The FSC accepts that any stoppage is undesirable and is working with all stakeholders in the industry to minimize these disruptions, whether they are to do with harvesting, transporting, or the processing of sugarcane. Madam Speaker, in answer to Section C of the Honourable Member's question, the hours of mill stoppages caused by breakdowns or mechanical problems at each of the 4 mills of the 2015 season is as follows. Lutoka mill, 183 hours. Rarawai, 214 hours. Lambasa, 117 hours. Penang, 296 hours. And the combined total value for all 4 mills is 868 hours. Madam Speaker, in answer to Section D of the Honourable Member's question, the hours of stoppages caused by outside stoppages or lack of supply of cane due to bad weather or other conditions for the 2015 season are as follows. Lutoka mill, 236 hours. Rarawai, 95 hours. Lambasa, 98 hours. Penang, 141 hours. And the total for all mills is 570 hours lost to bad weather or other conditions. Madam Speaker, the answer to the Honourable Member's question here about the losses incurred by breakdowns of each mill is as follows. Any delays caused by breakdowns are made up by extending the period of the crushing season. The FSC bears the cost of this plus any repairs to equipment. If there is a delay in the supply of sugarcane due to, example, bad weather or lack of harvesting, any cost in this respect is also borne by FSC. When there are mill breakdowns, FSC provides meals for lorry drivers who have to wait while the repairs are being carried out. At times, FSC will allow the lorries to unload the cane, not at the feeder carrier where they is normally unloaded, but they are allowed to unload it at a designated spot so that they do not have to wait for too long periods of time. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. There being no supplementary questions.
Supplementary question. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for the figures that he has provided. The supplementary question is, what is FSC doing to minimize the stoppages? I'll give you an example. In the last 2 weeks, there was a major breakdown at the Lutoka mill, and the 12 megawatt motor disrupted the crushing, and it has been replaced by a 5 megawatt. So what is the FSC's program in minimizing these stoppages?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, that is irrelevant to the question. We're talking about states here, please.
Thank you. The Honourable Ngaboko.
Madam Speaker, FSC is of serious concern to the whole country. And over the weekend, Madam Speaker, there was this news article by the Executive Chairman saying, we are not going to make 2 million tons, but. It's almost like everything they say is but. Madam Speaker, They can do it. They miss their target, but I'm just getting worried that we are not getting anywhere. We're always saying is excuses, but. Can we seriously consider setting up a bipartisan committee to look into the FSC as has been suggested by the leader of the NFP, Madam Speaker?
Thank you. Point of order. The Honourable Minister.
The question for the question.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
There's so much
Too many buts.
statements, so many statements preceding the question or waiting for the question.
Thank you. You may provide your question again in writing and will be provided to you in the same manner.